Welcome to Elliottwave-Forecast.com educational video. In this video, we are going to take a look at a double correction structure, or commonly called a WXY. So we label this double correction structure as a W, X, and then Y, as you can see in the red degree right here. So these are a couple of rules with the WXY. It is a combination of two corrective structures, and it is combined together with a label of a WXY. So in this particular case here, all right, you can see that with W, with X, and with Y, the subdivision of each leg can be any corrective structure. All right, so there are a couple of corrective structures. Now the WXY itself is a corrective structure, but it is a combination of two corrective structures. WXY is nothing more than two corrective structures combined together into a bigger corrective structures that we label as a WXY. So it is a 7-swing structure. And why is it 7-swing? Now if you take a look here, and if you count the labels, okay, we can see from this peak to this low, we can count it 1, 2, 3, 4, and this entire thing is counted as 1 because it is a correction, right? I mean, you can see that this is from the higher on the upper left high to the bottom right low. So the trend in this particular structure is to the downside because it has a lower low. So when the trend is lower, you will count any corrective price action as a 1 count. Okay, so it is a 7-swing based on this count right here: 1, 2, 3, 4, again because it is corrective. Okay, 5, 6, 7. Okay, so that's a 7-swing structure. And this particular example is a combination of a flat and a zigzag structure. So if you recall, Elliott Wave has a couple of different corrective structure. We got a zigzag, which is 535 structure. We got a flat, which is 335 structures, and we also have a triangle. All right, and then lastly, we have a WXY itself as a corrective structure, right? So WXY is the definition is combination of two corrective structures, and that is what WXY is. So the internal subdivision of this leg and this leg pretty much can be any corrective structures. All right, so right here, this particular example is a flat on the left side and a zigzag on the right side combined together to form a bigger corrective structures called WXY. So in a way, it is a little bit of sideways move, even though it's not completely sideways. As you can see, sometimes it can create a trend. In this case, it's a lower low, so that is in a way is a bearish trend. And it can happen in any time frame. It can happen in weekly, it can happen in daily, all the way to 1 hour and even lower time frame than that. Okay, so the relationship, the Fibonacci relationship, the with X usually is between 50% to 85.4% of the W, right? So the starting point of this W, the X, usually is either a close retest of the previous peak, or it can just go to the 50% or 76.4%, 85.4% of the W. And then the with Y, all right, it can be 61.8%, it can be 100%, and so on, but usually it does not pass 161.8%, because if it does reach 161.8%, then again you should question yourself, because if the third swing is so extended, you should question yourself whether this is actually an impulse. Now whether this is a 5 waves, right? Because a 5 waves can be a diagonal, so it doesn't matter if you see only 3 waves in the first swing. That doesn't necessarily mean it cannot become a 5 waves, because it can always be a diagonal. So again, if the third swing you see it is extended and reaches 161.8%, you should start questioning, okay, maybe this is not a WXY after all. Maybe this is a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. All right, so again, in this particular example, we got a flat on the left side. As you can see, a flat is defined as an ABC. You can see in the black degree. Okay, so the ABC flat together forms a bigger W with W of the WXY corrective structure, all right, double correction. And then we can see that the X wave is subdivided into a zigzag here, an ABC zigzag, and then lastly in the Y leg is subdivided into a zigzag. So we got a flat on the left side because we can see here this is if you recall, if you have not seen the video about flat, you can watch it in other videos. But expanded flat, this is a 3. Okay, it is a 3 3 5 structure here, 3 3 and then 5. Okay, in which the P goes above the starting point of the wave A. So this is an expanded flat. And then we can see on the right side, this is a zigzag because it's a 5 3 5 structure, right? So it is a combination of flat and zigzag combined together, forming a bigger degree corrective structure called a WXY. Now let's take a look at another example. There are many different variations of WXY because again the leg of the W and the leg of the Y can be any corrective structures. So I can, for example, switch this to each other. So the left side can be a zigzag, the right side can be a flat. The left side can be a flat, the right side also can be a flat, so it's like a double flat. It can be both a zigzag, it's called double zigzags, right? Or it can be itself a WXY of a lesser degree. So this can be a WXY by itself, right? Now, the difference between WXY and ABC really is based on the subdivision of this. If this is subdivided into 5 in the first swing and subdivided into 5 with the third swing, then you label this as an ABC. But if the subdivision is only in 3 in the first swing and subdivision in the third swing is only in 3, then it can be a WXY itself in the lower degree, lower Elliott wave degree. Okay, so let's take a look at another example. This is basically the same example. It's also double correction. As you can see, it's also WXY. The only difference is is the type of the corrective structures, which is the subdivision of the W and the Y. Now in this case, okay, the left side is a flat, which is the same as the previous example here. The left side is a flat, but the right side here before was a zigzag. This time the right side is a triangle. So you have a WX, and then the right side is A, B, C, D, E. So you got a WXY corrective structure, right, called double correction because you combine two corrective structures, right? It's called a double correction. And in this example, you got a combination of flat and triangle. But other than that, it is all the same. The idea is the same for the double correction, only that we give you a couple of different variations here. Another example, this one is a combination of a double 3 and a double 3. So a double 3 is also sometimes another name for a WXY. So WXY is a double correction, or sometimes also called double 3. You can see the left side is itself another WXY but a lower degree WXY. Okay, and you can see this is 3 waves, so everything is in 3 waves, 3 waves, 3 waves. So you can see the structure looks very much like an ABC, but the only difference and why we are not labeling this as an ABC, okay, compared to this one, for example, this is also 3 waves down, but we label this an ABC, and whereas this one also 3 waves down, but we don't label it as an ABC. The only difference is the subdivision here, like we said. So if the subdivision is in 3 waves, so obviously you cannot label this as a zigzag ABC. So in this case, it is a 3 waves here, 3 waves here. So it's a WXY of a lesser degree that form a W in the higher degree, and we label it as a W in red. Okay, on the right side, it is also another WXY in the lesser degree. Again, it's 3 waves. Every subdivision is in 3 waves, so together these two double 3s, okay, form a WXY in the higher degree. Okay, so these are a couple of different variations, and of course you can mix and match many different corrective structures on the left side and on the right side. Now let's take a look at an example, some examples from the chart, and see if we can find any. So this is a copper, okay, copper chart, daily chart. and you can see it looks bullish because it keeps continue to make a new high over here, right? Higher high, and we're going to be focusing on this particular move here. So from this peak to this low, and we're trying to label this move here from here. Okay, now if I downgrade now to the 4-hour and then focusing on this area, all right, so this is the area that we were looking at earlier in the daily chart. This is what we're focusing on. We start from this peak, label it as 0, okay, and then to the low here, we label it, well, we're gonna take a look at how we label it. But notice here, the move is in 3 waves without any doubt, right? It is either you count it like this, 1, 2, 3, or in this particular case, we count it like this one. W, which ends here instead of here, and then we got a Y, sorry, an X. So the X is in the form of a flat here, an A, a B, a C. So it is an expanded flat here. Okay, and then we got the Y leg right here. So if we do the Fibonacci measurement, we can see that the Y leg ends around, let's see here, so you measure WXY, it ends around 100% to 123.6% extension. So in other words, this with Y is approximately around 100% of the with W, a little bit more than 100% of with W. So like we said earlier, that is typical. It is a common relationship. It can be even only 61.8%, but I think the most important thing is shouldn't pass beyond 161.8, because then you should start questioning whether this entire thing is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 when you see a very extended third swing like this. Okay, so let's take a look here how we make sense of this move here. Now you have this W here, right, from this peak to this low, and you can see we subdivide the subdivision, we label it as another WXY of a lower degree. Okay, because you can clearly see here, we cannot try to label it as an impulse. For example, this is not really a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, right? That will be a very ugly 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 if that happens, right? Now this one is a little bit more straightforward. This is for sure is a 1, 2, 3, the Y leg, right? This is undebatable. This is a W. This is clearly an AB. A 3 waves at least, very clear. And the Y leg here is, let's start with this Y leg first because it is simpler, right? This one is a zigzag, so we can see this looks impulsive 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and this also looks impulsive 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So this is an ABC of a lower degree. So the width Y in the red is subdivided into an ABC, right? So on the left and the right side, you got a zigzag here. And then on the left side, we got a double 3, right? So you can see here, the left side, the subdivision of the width W is in another WXY of a lower degree. And why is it a WXY? Because this is a 3 waves move. 1, 2, 3. And okay, you cannot label this as an ABC zigzag because it is not 5 waves. So this, you can see subdivision here is in 3, 1, 2, 3, and then subdivision here is also something like a 1, 2, 3. Okay, so this one is an example of a WXY or a double correction in which the subdivision of each leg in this case is a double 3 on the left side and a zigzag on the right side. Now again, we can be mixing and matching many various different corrective structures here on the left side, on the right side, right? Now another example we're going to be taking a look at, and we also take a look at this last time when we cover a zigzag. This is an example of the Euro 4-hour chart. We will be focusing on this move here. Okay, from this starting point on the lower left to this upper right here. Now we can see this is clearly a three waves move. 1, 2, 3. That's a three waves move, right? And you can see the relationship of the Fibonacci, right? The width Y compared to the W is around 76.4% extension. So like we said, the width Y can be 61.8, can be 100%, 123.6%, and so on, but should not go past above and beyond 161.8% extension. Otherwise, again, it can become a 5 waves. Now, the width W here is subdivided into another 3 waves. So this is a zigzag ABC, right? So we got 5 waves here, impulse, 5 waves here, impulse. So it's an ABC zigzag that forms the first leg of this W of the higher degree. Then we got the correction, the width X, okay, and then we got the width Y, which is also subdivided into another ABC. We can see 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 with a B, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 C. So we have what looks to be another zigzag on the right side as well. So in this particular case, okay, in this particular case, we got what looks to be a zigzag on the left side. This one, right? This one is a zigzag. So two corrective structures combined together, that's what the definition is for a double correction or a WXY. So we got a zigzag leg on the left side, okay, ending the W in the higher degree. Then we got X pullback, and then we got another ABC up on the right side, which is another zigzag. So this is a combination of two zigzags. In this WXY example, we call this a double zigzag. Alright, so that is what we call the double correction. WXY is a very common corrective structures, by the way, in the market, especially if you're trading Forex. So if you are trading Forex, you may want to really learn how to label the corrective structures well, instead of always looking only at the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Now, just for sake of completion, let's take a look at this correction here. After we got this move WXY, we got another 3 ways move from this peak. So we got this 1, 2, and then 3, right? We got another 3 ways move, and we label this 3 ways move here as a flat here. So again, if you have not seen our video on the flat, you can watch it, but this is an example of a regular flat in which the B is retracing the A, and then the C leg is in 5 waves. So we got this 1, 2, and then 3, 4, and then 5 here, right? So we got this ABC 3 waves correction in response to this upside here. So again, you can see another higher degree label here in the W and X in blue, but we are not going to look at it. But again, every single move needs to be a part of something that is bigger, okay? That's called the fractal nature of Elliott wave. So this WXY move in the red, all together, this entire 3 ways move from here to here forms a W of a higher degree. So this W in blue is subdivided into another WXY. So we got a this is a double 3 here, right? And then we got this correction, the Y, the X here, and then the Y here. We do not look at it. We are not going to take a look at it. But again, just to show you that everything needs to be a part of something that is greater to make sense of the entire move from from the highest time frame to the lower time frame. But in here, in this example, we're gonna just be focusing mainly on this WXY in red, okay, that is subdivided into a zigzag on the left side and a zigzag also on the right side. So I'll see you guys again in other videos talking about other different structures.